Hi there, I'm going to do a little bit more with completing the square. This time I'm going to be completing the square when we have a leading coefficient other than 1. So in front of this x squared value, we have a value other than 1 here. Very much a similar process, but you'll see the subtle differences as we move forth through here. First, y equals 2x squared plus 8x. I'm going to slide this 1 on the back end, and I'm going to make some room. We need to create a perfect square trinomial here. But before we complete a perfect square trinomial, this 2 needs to get factored out. You will be factoring out this leading coefficient of everything that remains in those parentheses. Y equals 2x squared plus 4x minus 1. Now we need to find the value in here that when we add it in, it creates our perfect square trinomial. The way we can find that is still b over 2 squared. 4 over 2 squared, 2 squared equals 4. So what I'm doing is I'm going to be putting 4 right smack dab there in that spot. Now what we have done in the past is we have come over to the other side and you have put a 4 in that box right there. We are going to do something very similar to that, except you need to be aware of the fact that you did not actually add 4 to that side of the equation. It is inside the parentheses. Don't forget what is out front. So it is actually 2 times 4. You have added in a value of 8. If you add 8 to this side, we need to add 8 to the other side. That is the subtle difference right there. 8 equals, 8 plus y equals 2. I can factor what is in the parentheses there very easily. If I show my work, it is one step back. X plus 2 squared. I can subtract 8 over. Minus 8 from both sides, just to show you, leaving me with -9, and that is our parabola in graphing form, vertex form. Let's take a look at another couple examples here, just for some practice. Okay, y equals 3x squared minus 18x minus 2. We have a leading coefficient other than 1, so we're going to have to factor it out. Let's first make some room, though. Now we can factor out this leading coefficient of everything that is inside those parentheses. Y equals 3x squared minus 6x minus 2. b over 2 will give us our value to fill in and complete this and create a perfect square trinomial. b over 2 squared equals -6 over 2 squared equals -3 squared. That's going to be my factoring. Equals 9. I am putting 9 right there. But the question remains, what gets added to the other side? It is actually 3 times 9. So we will be adding a value of 27 to the other side of our equation. Now let's do my factoring. I need to factor x squared minus 6x plus 9, and if I don't want to think about it, I just show my work, and the factoring becomes x minus 3 squared. Subtract 27 over. Y equals 3x minus 3 squared minus 29. There it is. Graphing form, your vertex, opposite, same. We'll do one more here, just because I love math so much, and I know you do too. Y equals 2x squared minus 3x plus 2. Slide that 2 and make some room. Created room for my square. what I'm adding to both sides of my equation. Now I need to factor out this leading coefficient. Now, what am I going to be adding in here? Excuse me, when I factor the 2 out of that negative 3, I am left with negative 3 halves. Really, you can just write it in the denominator and reduce if possible. So, I get negative 3 over 2, that's my b value, over 2 squared. b is negative 3 halves over 2 squared. A much more comfortable way of people viewing this would be negative 3 halves divided by 2 squared. And your division is really just multiplication by the reciprocal. Negative 3 halves times 1/2 squared equals negative 3/4 squared equals 9/16. So I will be adding 9/16 right here into this spot. Plus 9/16. If I add it to that side, I'm going to need to be adding something to the other side. But what goes to the other side is really 9/16 times 2. So for a little side work, 2 times 9/16 equals 9/8. So I'm adding 9/8 to that side. Let me clean this up a little bit and rewrite it. 9/8 plus y equals 2. I'm going to be factoring that. Plus 2. And the factoring of this trinomial right here, this perfect square trinomial, remember, is one step back from what you added. X minus 3/4 squared. Now we finish it off. Subtract 9/8. To subtract 9/8 from 2, I need a common denominator. How many 8s are in 2? 16/8. Y equals 2x minus 3/4 squared, and that would leave me with a positive 7/8. Vertex, opposite, same. Thank you very much.